Life post-Expo has been interesting.
Yeah.
In a positive way. Yeah, I mean, I just needed some time to decompress and also had to catch up on work.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was really cool. So I'm pretty excited to be back in here and talk about it. And you know, my craw is running out of space, so I need to get it out before I forget all the awesome things that we experienced and all the friends we made. And
we're the latest podcast to talk about it. So if you already forgot everything you heard about Expo, now's your chance to hear it.
Yeah, no, this is totally intentional. Like, we wanted you to forget and then remind you.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is what we're doing.
Yeah, keep it fresh by making it stale.
Oh, man. All right. Well, if you, for whatever reason, the 2 or 3 listeners that have been waiting
for our Expo impressions,
here it is. Day 1. Expo, Schaumburg, Illinois.
Yeah, Schaumburg.
Schaumburg.
Not Chicago. Chicago adjacent.
You know, not being from Chicago, I thought it was going to be Chicago. It is not Chicago.
No, it is not. And I kind of thought that too.
It is, if Chicago was Walmart, Schaumburg is the parking lot.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, no offense to people who live in the parking lot of Schaumburg.
Schaumburgians.
But yeah, it was very concrete filled.
Yeah. I mean,
it's an aesthetic.
It's an aesthetic. Suburban Max, if you call it, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. So take 10 Walmart parking lots, put them all together, put a Starbucks in the middle, put a hotel on one end, a hotel on the other end.
And 14 more hotels in the middle.
A couple medians.
Yeah.
Schaumburg.
Schaumburg.
I highly recommend the Weber Grill restaurant. Did you see that?
No.
I didn't go there, but I saw it. It was across from the Starbucks.
You're recommending it based on appearance only?
They have a giant Weber Grill outside, and it's literally Weber Grill branded restaurant.
Oh, I've never seen such a thing.
So that is your food option besides Starbucks.
I bet it's good.
It's probably really good. But that caught my eye. That's going to be for next year.
Yeah.
Expo 2025, you should come to the Weber Grill restaurant with us. Like,
no, there's probably good places to eat in Schaumburg. It did seem like
there are.
All of the Chicago like pizza chains seem to have Schaumburg locations, but you know, when you're in the Expo the entire
it feels
it's open like from morning to late at night.
Yeah, it feels a little isolated. Yeah.
So there's the food options in Expo itself are much more limited and fine, but you know, you might want to leave and go get something. Yeah,
it feels, especially if you don't have a car, it's probably tough. Anyways, I'm excited to check out the Weber Grill restaurant next time I go.
Somehow I missed that. I didn't even see it. It was just blended in with the parking lot aesthetic.
Yeah, I did. It was like basically a giant tailgate. Okay, so day 1. We pull in to the Renaissance Hotel parking lot in the morning.
Yeah, and that was Thursday morning.
The first thing I saw, I'll tell you this, a lot of people with long hair.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like, I kind of felt somewhat of a kindred.
I mean, you know you're at the right place.
Yeah.
When you get to that hotel.
Walking in.
With super dry lips. By the way, if you live in the South, Chicago in October, super dry. Super dry.
Started cracking right away.
Yeah, it was rough. Fortunately.
So we had someone come to our rescue.
Right as we walked in.
Literally as we were opening the door for the first time.
Yeah.
Brooke.
Yeah, from Pinbalm.
Pinbalm. If you haven't tried Pinbalm, which by the way, like we're not in any way being compensated for this. We just really like Brooke and we really like Pinbalm.
Yeah.
It is some of the best chapstick I've ever tried.
It's solid.
I guess lip balm. It's not chapstick.
Chapstick
feels like I'm cheapening it because it actually felt really nice.
It's in a chapstick style tube that says Pinbalm. But it's like natural and organic and stuff like that.
Like minty, like the right amount of mintiness and kind of almost like akin to Burt's Bees or something. It was really nice. Really nice.
Burt's Bees vibes in a good way.
But it felt better.
Yeah. I still got a tiny bit left. Actually, it's in my pocket. I'm so happy.
Oh, you're pulling it out. Oh, nice, dude. So yeah, man, like, you know, she gave us full disclosure, she gave us each one tube, but I liked it so much that we ended up going back.
We've been compensated for this. We got a $2 tube.
And she was like, did you try it? Try it. And like, I totally forgot because, we're just like running around, and I finally like, oh, my lips are cracking. And I'm like,
my lips hurt real bad.
Yeah. Dude, I had to go back and buy a couple more.
Yeah.
And I actually gave them away, and people love them. So anyways, you guys should try them. I'm sure you've probably seen them like on Instagram or something, but
definitely when you go to Chicago, be prepared with some pin balm.
You need some pin balm.
Yeah, so we digress.
So day one, we didn't know what to expect. First impressions for me were kind of like, wow, this is bigger than I thought.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea what I was walking into. I've never even seen videos or pictures or recaps or anything.
Yeah.
Like
I think it's changed venues over the years too.
Sure, yeah.
Keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, so the layout, right? Like we walked in through the side, the seminar rooms, there's like an upstairs area, right? And they had these like exhibit/seminar halls.
Yeah, it was like a B and C, Nirvana or something.
Yeah.
It's like Nirvana A, Nirvana B.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's overselling the seminar room a little bit, I think.
Right. I can't say I experienced Nirvana, but definitely learned a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so we watched seminars. The line has since subsided.
Yeah.
We're making our way downtown, walking fast.
Yeah.
Faces past, and we're homebound.
So excited.
And we walk in. What do we see?
Merch.
Right. Oh man, which I mean, I think I was trying to buy some shirts and they were already sold out on Thursday.
It was so frustrating. Like, who's ordering these shirts?
Come on.
Pinfest was the same thing. We got there within like 2 hours of them opening on day one, and they were out of shirts.
Man.
Same thing.
It's funny. I'm like, my first thought is, oh, I'm here early. It's Thursday. This goes till Sunday. Right. I need to get my shirts in now.
Yeah, you had the right thought, and they were literally sold out already.
Come on, guys, more shirts.
Yeah.
Besides the merch, what was the first thing that you saw?
No, you mean like when we got onto the showroom floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the first thing that caught your eye.
Nudge Magazine. Yeah, we hung a right.
Oh wait, did we split up?
No, not.
Yeah, we did because you.
Yeah. I think I left something in the car and then I went back. So you had already walked in.
Like a sweater? Were you taking your sweater off or something?
Yeah, it was a wardrobe change.
Something. Okay.
It was confusing. The weather.
The weather was confusing.
It was like freaking freezing, and then it got really hot in those seminars because there was like tons of people crowded into a room, and then the convention, I think they cranked the AC at some point, and it got really freezing in there. So yeah, anyway, bring options. So what was the first thing you saw? I hung a right and I found Ian, but.
So I went straight, and the first thing I saw was the really crazy like cup art.
Oh, the sign that said Expo
24. It was pretty cool, man. Like I think somebody got to like raffle to destroy it or something, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think you could like sign up for a raffle, and then if you won, you could actually be the one to like jump through it and like just tear it up.
That'd be fun.
But that was pretty cool, man. That was like for me kind of a sign of what was to come.
Okay.
Like extreme. It was like the last thing I thought I would see first was a tower of cups that spelled Pinball Expo.
You know, Walmart does the same thing with their
with the Coke, with the soda,
Yeah. So you were like
24 packs.
So that's what you thought was to come, like Walmart level experience.
I was just kind of like, whoa, okay, like this is not.
Yeah. No, it was cool.
This is not what I am expecting at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we met our virtual friend Ian for the first time.
IRL.
And he looked a lot different in person than I was expecting.
He was a lot taller and a lot more handsome than I expected.
I'm not a tall man, but I'm kind of average height, and you're.
I'm average. I'm like tall. I'm like average tall.
Yeah, you're on the taller side of average height.
Average, but on the tall side. And he was like intimidating to me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is him and Jack Danger, like 6 foot. I think Jack's even taller, possibly.
I think Jack's taller than Ian.
I think Jack's got to be like 6'6" or 7 or something.
Yeah, he was pretty tall. I wasn't ready for that.
They're tall men. You don't get it on the internet so much.
I'm pretty sure Ian's dating profile is accurate with his height. So ladies, don't worry.
Yeah, it's like they say if you go to the Grand Canyon, and it's like a totally different experience than just like seeing a picture of it.
That's Ian.
That's Ian, yeah.
That's Ian. And Nudge magazine, by the way, because it's beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
Which also, thanks, Ian. You know, you hooked me up with that issue too. Like that was my last one that I needed.
And you know what? I just found the copy of Nudge magazine that I ordered from Ian in April. So I opened that up the other day. I'm super happy about that. Now I can finally read.
I still got to freaking read them, dude. Like he asked me the other day. He was like, "Did you actually read it?"
Well, I didn't even take it out of the like mail sleeve when I immediately lost it, and I found it with my iPad.
That's awesome.
So
that's awesome.
Happy about that.
Well, yeah, I got a lot of reading to do.
Yeah,
but I do enjoy them. So
yeah, they feel so good. The texture.
Yeah,
they're silky soft.
And now for a word from our sponsor.
The X-Men are now on Fox, and we're celebrating with the X-Men Video Extravaganza. You can win the X-Men home video, a TV, VCR, and X-Men stuff. To enter, mail a postcard with the name of your favorite X-Men character, your name, address, and phone number to X-Men on Fox, Box 1129, Hollywood, California, 90078. Entries must be received by January 20th for you to win.
And now, back to the show.
So after we, became acquainted with Nudge and Ian IRL, I think X-Men was the mission.
Yeah,
like mission number one.
That became all three of our mission at some point, is just to play X-Men. Because you could kind of look past the Nudge booth and see all the like row of X-Men games behind, and it's hard to look away.
It was like 20 of those things.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. There was a wall of them, and then another wall of them, and then probably
a
room with them, and then maybe some more scattered around.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had the Pro and the Premium. We played those a lot. I'd say we played that game more than any other game at Expo.
My first impression was that this game was striking visually.
Yeah. And neither of us had seen one in person or played one or anything.
We had not seen one IRL. We hadn't played one. Just like the visual, just like the photos and the stuff, the videos online.
Yeah.
That was the most exciting first game I think I've had in pinball in a while.
Yeah.
That weird little figure 8 shot where you hit that left kind of upper thing and it loops around and comes back. Like the first time I saw that, dude, it felt like magic.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same shot that he described Gary Stern like making a comment about the first time he played it. Yeah, because I think he was weird about like the 3 flippers. But anyways, when I saw that thing, dude, and just the way that it flows and feels, and it's striking to me, man. And that was my first impression. Big smiles. Yeah,
so after we watched the trailer, like the initial 5-minute launch trailer or whatever, I didn't watch anything else about it. I didn't look it up.
Right.
I didn't read about it. I didn't watch any of the other gameplay videos or anything because I didn't want to.
Right. Okay. I think I saw like 1 or 2.
I like to, with a game like that I know that I'm kind of excited about, I don't want spoilers.
You don't want to spoil it. Yeah. I get it.
And it completely blew my mind. I was just kind of shocked by the shots and the play field. I knew the basics of it. You got the 2 flippers on the right, you got the danger room on the left.
Yeah.
But like how every other single shot flows in that game is just mind-boggling.
It's really cool, man.
And the ball is going places that you have no idea where it's going to go. Just to learn like where the ball is going to come out, it takes 5 or 6 or 7 plus games. And that's if you can hit every shot. Yeah. That's if you're really paying attention and you hit every shot.
Yeah.
Because every shot with what maybe just there's the like left ramp that's kind of a standard issue sort of
almost
shot.
Like the Jurassic Park T-Rex shot, right? Like it's like the same kind of similar angle, same kind of spot.
It goes up to a wire form and it returns to a flipper. That one you're kind of expecting. It's not super hard to hit. It's satisfying. It's a fun shot. But every single other shot in that game is just like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah. Amazing.
And then you're like, did the laws of physics just get defied on some level?
Physics are definitely questionable. It's like...
and the ball is crossing the play field.
Super cool.
it's going forward and then backwards and then forward and then backwards.
Magnets.
Yeah, there's the magnet, there's the sentinel shot.
Man,
and the two shots on either side of the sentinel.
Super satisfying to hit that sentinel, man. It's really, it feels really good.
Yeah, the sentinel, it felt great. And then we switched from a premium to a pro, and I didn't even realize.
You did not realize that it was a pro.
Didn't even realize I was playing the pro.
I forgot about that.
Until I switched back to the premium. I'm like, oh, I just was playing on the pro. And I didn't even realize because they didn't nerf it.
I forgot about that, man.
The sentinel doesn't go down, right? But in the premium, his head is still kind of popping up anyway. So it's the same shot. It's just he doesn't physically move up and down. And then I guess the beast shot, the beast lab shot is different. Maybe doesn't have a physical ball lock. That didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about that when I was playing it.
Yeah. Honestly, we played maybe like 2 or 3 games on the premium.
Yeah.
And then the same with the pro. And that wasn't enough to really feel a huge difference, which is actually like pretty commendable for a pro, because you can buy a pro for a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
And
a lot
still
of it cheaper.
Pretty much enjoy it, right? Like the actual gameplay.
Yeah. This seemed like to me maybe the best like pro version because all of the premium features are super cool, but they don't dramatically change the flow
actual gameplay,
or the gameplay.
Yeah.
The hand that comes down and breaks the ramp, like that's cool. That's different. That affects the gameplay a little bit. And the fingers, like flicking the ball back.
Yeah.
But those things don't happen very often. They're more just little bonus things.
I agree with you.
I think is how I wish they all were like that. It's like, give me something a little extra, but don't like dramatically change the game.
I agree with you. Yeah. I think this is like a great pro, man. This is like a no-brainer in terms of budget, right?
I mean, the premium, now this goes back to the Godzilla kind of thing in my mind where it's like, this is a top tier game, having played it less than 50 times, I guess. That's where I am with it right now. If you're looking at those games, like maybe just get the premium because you love it.
Yeah. And if you haven't played it yet, you 100% need to.
Yeah.
If you feel weird about the flippers, don't. It's tons of fun. It doesn't feel offset at all. It feels weirdly natural. It adds this extra level of fun where like when you have multi-ball and you're like having to split your eyeballs, you're like, like your brain and your eyes are like peripherally looking at one or the other.
Yeah.
It's really fun, man.
Yeah, with the multi-ball with the danger room happening at the same time will break your brain the first few times, if not more than that. But it's so satisfying.
It feels like if you're learning how to play drums or guitar and you're like trying to separate your limbs to like do one movement free of the other and like
Yeah, it feels like if you're trying to play guitar and look at your strumming hand and your fretting hand at the same time.
You can't
it's
do
like
both. Yeah, it's like I literally felt as if my eyes were splitting.
Yeah. See, I think Jack doesn't have that problem because he's 7 feet tall, so he can just
bird's eye view.
He has more of a bird's eye view. I don't know if he realized how much he was destroying our ocular function.
That's funny. Well, he's making us way better players with that game, dude.
Oh man, I loved that. Like having to just make my brain do something that it wasn't used to doing.
Yeah, I think that was the most exciting point for me playing that game was when I finally got multi-ball. And I'm keeping that ball in the danger room, hitting that loop, while I'm keeping the other balls in the main playfield area going.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it simultaneously. And I'm like, dude, I am a fucking badass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that game does make you feel like a badass when you're hitting shots and everything it's super flowy when you're hitting shots.
It's cool.
And like it seems like virtually almost every single shot returns the ball to the flipper except for the sentinel shot. And that was mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Like, and I think on Pinside it still says the game has like 2 ramps.
Interesting.
I disagree with that.
Interesting.
But they don't look like traditional ramps. But it'll be like a little mini orbit that goes into a wire form that comes back. The ball is doing wacky stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm in love with it.
Same. I think my final thought on this is, after I played it, for the first time, and I think at the end of Expo, when I walked away, I was like, man, this is, I'm seeing the future of pinball with this game. It's like, it's hard to describe because, we harp on toys and all these things, and those are things that I love, but I can see a future with really wacky and zany shots that flow. And this is kind of how I felt with this game. Like, had a really cool toy, had really cool tricks. Yeah. And but more importantly, wacky, zany, flowy stuff that makes it way fun. Yeah. And it feels like the future of pinball, man, which is really fun. It's really cool.
It does, yeah. I haven't been that excited about a game since I got my first Dracula, you know. Like this is that same this is like that same feeling of like you said, this feels like something new and different and from the future.
This feels like a whole different experience, right? Like it's really, really cool, man. I don't want to keep just hyping it up with all these like vague descriptors, because you got to play it. You just have to feel it and play it. But like, nice job, team. Thanks for taking risks. Thanks for having no fear. Thanks for
making a radical game.
Thanks for living up to your name,
Mr. Danger.
And now for a word from our sponsor.
Treat yourself like you should. Treat yourself oh so good. With chocolate kudos granola snack. There's pleasure so big and light. You'll love the whole grain crunch and nuts in every bite. Kudos made chocolate be everything it should. So treat yourself oh so good.
And now back to the show.
So are we going to buy this game?
Yeah. I might have to get a new car though, so I got to figure that out because I hit a deer. So.
Oh yeah, there's that.
I was really like gung-ho about it, but now I think I have to like save my money, put it aside for a down payment on a car or something, because, you know, unless somebody out there has a car they want to sell me or donate.
Yeah, right now I feel like Wayne's World, like when in the movie when he goes to get that Stratocaster, he's like, "You will be mine." Yeah. Oh yes, you will be mine. That's how I'm feeling about X-Men right now. I actually don't even really want to play it at the arcade because I'm like, it's kind of becoming Godzilla to me already, where I don't really play it at the arcade because I know I'm going to own it, and I'd rather just save it for when I own it.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. We gotta own it. We have to.
Yeah, so I played it. Side note, I played it at Boxcar. Have you played it at Boxcar yet?
I played it at Boxcar, yeah.
And I have to say, I just have to shout out Jack about this design again, because Boxcars got it set up super steep, like they always do. You know, like back legs fully maxed out, front legs fully maxed the other way, unmaxed. And at first I was like, okay, this definitely does not play as well as the ones at Expo. And so initially I was kind of bummed. You know, I was like, it's not as fun.
It's not going to feel the same, yeah.
It doesn't feel as good. However, you could still hit everything. Like every shot in that game, once I kind of got used to this super steepness of it, I started to get into a flow, and you can still hit everything in that game, even with it maxed out.
That's cool.
Because there's plenty of games that get ruined by that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say my experience is totally different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I enjoyed the one at Expo so much that my first game, like I couldn't even get the ball to launch all the way up the initial ramp.
So there is that just the plunger, which is supposed to go up and around.
It wouldn't go.
It's like it doesn't hit it every time.
I had to like trick it every time, and then I had like one or two bad games, and I said you know what, I don't want to ruin
your positive experience.
My positive experience of
That's
this
how
game.
I felt too. Like I played 2 games of it, and then I was like, and then I went over and played Avatar because it wasn't set too steep.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah.
Somehow they set the Jersey Jack games up correctly. I don't get it.
Interesting.
I just couldn't believe all of those shots still worked because of the weird physics of it all. Like I was like, oh, this is a game that's going to get broken.
Yeah.
When you max out
too
the
steep.
steepness.
Yeah.
But it didn't. So that's pretty cool.
Then I couldn't help but to notice on the way to check out one of the other games, this super tricked out Radical.
Yeah.
It was literally radical, dude.
That game looked amazing.
It was like custom powder coating. Even like the apron was like on the inside was like this weird chromy, like
every
beautiful.
single detail like no expense spared kind of modded radical.
What was it for sale?
I think it ended up going up for auction. Or something. Yeah.
Didn't it also have like a skateboard like on the top of the
Yeah.
It literally had like
cool
a physical
topper. Yeah.
skateboard as a topper. Yeah, that thing was so sick, man. Like I turned the corner and like both of us, we looked at it and we were just like,
Some of those games from that era, those System 11 games, and if you put some effort into them, you can make those things look like a New Jersey Jack. Or
freaking
something.
Cool. So, dude, eye catching. Like that was like a masterpiece, man. Like that thing is eye catching. Is like I don't even know what, dude.
Yeah, maybe they'll remake Radical. That'd be a good one.
So
Pedretti, do it.
So and then on that same little row, right? Super long line, Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, which
did you play it?
I never actually played because there was only
either.
2 of them. I think they had 2 of them there, and there was just a long line every time we walked by it.
That's got to be like one of the most hyped games this year, I think, because it was such a long line.
Well, I mean, but there was only 2 of them.
I guess there's only 2 of them, right?
But yeah, I think this was kind of the debut of it. So,
did you recall? Do you recall anything that stood out to you on that game?
So I was kind of surprised at the like overt sexualization of Alice.
Yeah, me too. Actually,
I'm not sure. I don't have any like thoughts beyond that really, but I was just like, okay, that's where they went with it. Okay.
I thought the same. Like I get it, but I had the same thought. I think I would have preferred
this over the top, but they know their audience, so
the topper was cool.
What was the topper?
It was what's the cat? The what's the name of the not a fan, sorry. The
Cheshire Cat.
Yeah, Cheshire. Yeah, you got it. I knew that. It was really cool, man.
In there somewhere.
It had these like the eyes. Right? It had some like weird effect on like almost like that weird, almost like mirrored looking like dimensional like glass looking effect where it was like hypnotizing you right with its eyes. It was really a neat topper.
Yeah, so I think the reason we didn't play it was because there was a long line, and then we talked to somebody who did play it and said that like you couldn't, the flippers were bad and you couldn't hit the shots.
Oh, so they were like weak or something. Yeah.
It was like I don't want to bother waiting in line to play something that's not working right.
Too many games.
Yeah,
too many games. That was the other thing I learned too. Was like you got to kind of pick your games because you probably can't play them all.
Yeah.
And now for a word from our sponsor.
Why do I love you? Why does something that feels so good hurt so bad? Do you love me? Believe in me. Love me. Unforgivable.
The Fragrance for Men from Sean John.
And now, back to the show.
Yeah, so then the lines were too long. We didn't really feel like waiting around. So we're like trying to find other places. And, the spooky booth we saw earlier, I think, and we were like coming back to it. On the way, Ninja Eclipse.
Oh, yeah, Ninja Eclipse, the Turner pinball.
Yeah, which we got to hang out with Chris Turner for like a moment.
Yeah, later.
Because he knows Ian, right? So really cool guy, man.
Yeah,
really cool guy.
Super nice guy.
And it seemed like, congrats to you, right, Chris Turner? It seems like you actually are getting pretty, like, people were talking about that game this year.
Yeah.
And it seemed like a few people actually bought some. Like on the floor, like from the show floor.
Yeah, interestingly, several people that we ran into was like highlighted the show for them. To me, I thought the game was cool. I only played it maybe once.
I played it once, so I can't,
So I don't have a huge commentary on it, but it seemed a little bit of a Williamsy layout, not like a modern Stern layout, a little bit of a throwback.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say give him props because I value originality in games, and like I'm kind of tired of licensed themes, and they're cool and there's a place for them, but like I also want freedom, right, in designs and music and ninjas. Yeah, like what is a ninja eclipse?
I mean, honestly, like
so many ninjas that the sun blacks out. I don't know. Let's find out.
It's funny because if there's not a popular movie / property then it just won't be a pinball machine unless somebody does something like this.
Unless someone does it, yeah.
Because like when we were kids, freaking ninjas are awesome and everywhere.
Ninjas
and like
are everywhere.
50% of my toys were ninjas of some kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so now there's no big ninja movies, so we don't have a ninja pinball game, but now we do. So
Yeah.
it's cool.
So that was cool. And
Unless you count the Teenage Mutant Ninja. Different vibe. different vibe.
No. It's Nickelodeon now. That's
Yeah.
that's not even the same thing anymore. So yeah, so then we finally made it to the spooky booth.
Yeah.
And that was my first time. So you got to play Texas Chainsaw Massacre at
Pinfest, yeah.
So that was my first time. So you're excited to show me Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Because you like spooky games.
Because I like spooky games, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually like a low-key, high-key spooky fan,
Yeah.
which was cool too because on a side note, I got to meet Bug and Chris Franchi. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Eventually. The first game we played, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it was, I guess I'm not Ian height. So the light was reflecting like directly, the light was directly above us. And the angle that I was playing at was, it was just reflecting directly into my face.
Yeah, you were struggling.
Yeah, it was tough. And then for whatever reason, like the sound, I think it was just like the weird like convention hall in that area. We're audio guys. Right?
Yeah.
The sound was killing me, dude. Later, I played a different one without you.
Yeah.
Much better experience. I think it was just literally that spot in the room.
Yeah.
That just didn't work.
Just a bad spot. Yeah. So what are your thoughts about that game? Because I talked about it before.
Yeah. I actually really enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed it. I think personally, the theme would get old for me. Like it's not one that I would want to own at my house.
Yeah.
But if I had a cool Halloween party, I would pull that thing out to like ASAP.
Yeah.
If I had like a horror movie collection room or something, right? Like totally 100% awesome game. And I wish I would have played it more. I actually played it quite a bit, but not enough to really understand the rules and kind of get like a deeper sense. But it was definitely fun and exciting. And I thought it shot really well too.
It's got a lot going on. There's tons of stuff to do and there's extra flippers that are hidden almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then shots that you don't expect. And yeah, it always feels like there's something to do. It was fun, man. I was having a good game going until somebody like ran over the power cord.
The person on the scooter.
I'm like, why did it just switch to DOS?
I forgot.
The game
the whole row of games got unplugged. Yeah, that was crazy.
I was having my best game. I was like in the middle of a multi-ball.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
Man.
I got massacred. But
with the scooter.
Yeah, scooter.
Expo scooter massacre. Something else real quick. While we were there at the spooky booth, I played a couple of Looney Tunes games. I know they're quote unquote the same game.
Yeah.
They did not feel like the same game to me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not as sensitive to like copied layouts as evident by our previous episodes.
Yeah.
But I actually thought they played pretty differently, man.
Yeah.
Like I was vibing with them in different ways, and it was kind of surprising because I kind of went in already knowing they were the same game, quote unquote, or the same layout, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
Not the same game, same layout.
Same layout, different rules. What was it? Don that was saying? Was it other Don that was saying he had both?
Don's Pinball Podcast, yeah.
Did he say he had both versions?
He was the one. I got to hang out with him for a little bit, and he introduced me to Bug and Chris.
Yeah.
And I think he has both. Yeah, I think he has both, and I think he was telling me that I guess they live pretty close to the actual shop.
Yeah.
And he's gotten like a pretty friendly, and they have a pretty good relationship with them or whatever. But
yeah, I saw him giving Bug a back rub at one point.
Oh man, I didn't see that. No, that's hilarious. But yeah, man, that was really fun, and I think he does. I think he said he does have both.
Oh really? Yeah. I think I remember that, and I think he likes both of them. Like
yeah, he does. No,
even though like you're saying, they don't feel like the same game.
He definitely and I want to say thanks Don from Don's Pinball Podcast. Just kind of like, I don't know, hanging out with me.
Your mom's favorite podcast.
Yeah, I guess I got to tell that story real quick. So if you guys don't know Don from Don's Pinball Podcast, he's probably got one of the more well-known ones. I mean, he's got so many episodes, and it's kind of insane. He comes out with like 3 a week or something. Anyways, I'm telling my mom, I'm like, hey mom, I play pinball and stuff, and my friend Matt and I, we have this podcast. You should check it out. So then a couple days later, she's like, I think I found your podcast, but it doesn't sound like you. And then I was like, what do you mean? And then she sent me a screenshot. And it was Dawn's Pinball Podcast, but it's the other Dawn. So then
she just searched, like, you didn't tell her the name of it or anything?
I did. I just think that she was like rushing. I don't know, man. I think she just typed in like Dawn Pinball or something. You know what I mean? Like, who knows?
She's a big podcast listener.
She doesn't listen to any podcasts at all. But then, so shout out to Dawn's Pinball Podcast, which is my mom's favorite podcast.
She's like, it doesn't sound like you. Thanks for listening. That was part 1 of our Chicago Expo trip. But there's still a ton more stuff to talk about. We played a million other games, including new ones and old ones, and a very special Gottlieb gem. Hint, hint. We went to a Chicago arcade. We got our first taste of the amazing homebrew world. Don went to the Electric Bat. We met a ton more people and did a ton more things. It was a lot. So,
to be continued. Leave this territory now. Return to your home.
Evacuate all personnel.